Thank you, Wellington.
Thank you.
In about 4 seconds, the teacher will begin to speak. Let us begin. My name is Reggie Hubbard. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm the founder and chief serving officer of Active Peace. I'm a recovering political operative, probably in perpetual recovery if I'm being honest. I'm a perpetual good troublemaker. Shout out to John Lewis. I'm unapologetically black and proud. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm an heir to the bounty of the struggles my ancestors have made. And I'm a midwife to what common opinion says is impossible. Do you feel me? I'm an organizer and a communitarian, so allow me to explicitly state my desire to connect with any of you that want to connect with me. Most people are shy about this. So I don't normally do this, but if you take out your phone and look at the app, all the things I have are updated. So if you want to stay in touch with me, that's why we're here, okay? So if you want to do that now, I'll do it later. Do it now, okay? Oh, yeah, it'll be 6 months from now. You'll be like, Roger? No, it's Reggie. Y'all know what it is. So this convening is sacred, and it's in that we can't build a movement if we don't purposefully connect. You feel me? So if you want to stay in touch with me, take out your phone, look at the app, and let's get that business, all right? I come before you today with deep gratitude, humility, and a touch of good nerves. You know, I'm human. And I'm honored to have the chance to share with you. And in keeping with my tradition, my lineages as a teacher, I'd like to offer some acknowledgements, if that's okay with you. I'd like to acknowledge the land that I'm on, the Basque Country, and honor the people and the culture both now and then. I'd like to acknowledge my ancestors with whom I am in deep relationship and without whose prayers, faith, and favor I don't exist. So blessings to my ancestors. I'd like to acknowledge the lineages that I hold. So Thai forest tradition and mindfulness, Zen peacemaker order, white plum and Zen Buddhism, the Christian tradition of my family, the lineage of black and brown people across the diaspora, Sri Vidya Hatha, Kemetic yoga, and the patron saints of Active Peace, Jimi Hendrix and Prince. I'd like to also acknowledge Pride Month. Y'all can do better than that. Okay? And honor my LGBTQIA fam, and I stand in solidarity with you this month, this day, and in this life, okay? And I'd also like to share that my intention is to share from the heart, from my experience, and with the cadence of a revivalist, the discipline of a yogi, the compassion of a Buddhist, and the fire of a love revolutionary, okay? Offering you heart medicine that permeates your being, nourishes your imagination, and lights the flame of this movement, allowing us to leave with passion, purpose, and community to disrupt all things that prevent our collective liberation. Okay? So if you don't agree with what I have to say, that is your right. I'm going to press this, the First Amendment of our Constitution of the United States, freedom of speech. You don't have to agree with me, but just keep an open mind, all right? Ashe, amen. Y'all, if I'm being honest, I never thought I'd be a yogic practitioner. I never thought I'd be a Buddhist practitioner, either as a teaching practice or as a personal practice. In fact, the first time I was invited to a yoga class, I looked my friend in the face like, I ain't no skinny white girl, why would I do that shit? Not yogic, but hella truthful, right? And y'all, I was a hardcore operative and have been at the presidential level of United States politics since 2003. And y'all know that lifestyle, right? So workaholic, I would drink bourbon for breakfast. I would chain smoke cigarettes for lunch. I would curse a motherfucker out for afternoon snack, and I would eat fast food at midnight. I gained 120 pounds in that lifestyle. I was killing myself, deluded by the fallacy of workaholism to perpetuate social change. So I give deep gratitude to God, Goddess, the ancestors, sages, and saints that I'm here before you to share my story, right? I'm here because I am an activist and a teacher at the same time, right? So I have some pictures to show y'all. So there are two versions of Reggie in this picture. Both of them are smiling. Which one is happy? Okay? The guy in the fancy suit, that's at Joe Biden's inauguration in 2012. The next day I'm flying to Germany to sit with Angela Merkel on some like whatever, blah, 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 awesome, awesome, awesome. That brother's miserable, man. The other guy, yogic practitioner teaching kids, right? So I divorced myself from the notion of overachieving and got into service to myself and then serving from that abundance. So this brother here, right, baby face, that was a million years ago. It's in 2006 in Coral Gables, Florida, standing next to then Senator Barack Obama. If you look carefully, look at my ear. It is white. That's stress-induced eczema. That's my body being like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, your suit is great, you're cheesing with this dude, but my body is rebelling against what I was doing, all right? This guy, I worked for Bernie Sanders. I was Bernie Sanders' executive producer in 2015 and 16. The button on my shirt says, "This is my resisting bitch face." Real talk. So, but look at this guy. Healthy, vibrant, that white ear is black and proud, right? And this is in 2018 when Donald Trump decided to jail children and thought it was okay to separate families and stuff. This is at the end of my 200-hour yoga teacher training. 20,000 people are behind me. I'm walking down Pennsylvania Avenue, fist in the air, being like, we ain't going out like that. So in these 4 pictures, I hope that you've seen my journey, right? From like self-destruction to self-nourishment, and then from that self-nourishment, doing crazy stuff. I never thought I'd be leading protests like that, so anyway. Anyway, in real talk, I didn't start practicing yoga for enlightenment. I started practicing yoga to not curse out my boss, right? And that suffering was the gateway to my liberation. So the acknowledgement of that suffering was the gateway to my liberation. And to make a very long story short, I was in a job, it was terrible, we've all been there. And I was this close to calling this lady MFB, use your imaginations, you know what that is. And I stopped. And the next morning I went to a yoga studio and through suffering, practiced sunrise and sunset, sunrise, sunset. 10 months later when they fired me via text message, you heard that right? I bowed before them and thanked them for how poorly they treated me because they gave me the wisdom to handle adversity with grace. That, my loved ones, is what personal practice can do for you. When you nourish yourself and serve from that abundance, ignorance can befall you and you just bow with gratitude. Consistent practice allowed me to create space for my healing, deepen connection to source, make inner well-being my priority, and share the dividends of that investment with all who cross my path. You can get down with that, right? Some of y'all still may think our mission is impossible, but y'all, I live in the realm of the impossible. I'm a black dude who speaks 3 languages, went to Yale University. So my skeptics, get out of our way and watch us work, okay? And everybody has that person in their family, that cool uncle. Let Uncle Reggie put you on some game, all right? Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Did you hear what I said? Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And with respect to well-being and that intersection, our time is when? I can't hear you. Our time is when? Do you really believe that? When is our time? Thank you. We must be radically honest about our individual and collective mindlessness before we can embrace mindfulness, okay? So let me ask you, if you had a car that you always drove, that you never cut off, you never checked the oil, it was low on fuel, had a flat tire, and then the check engine light was on, you wouldn't be surprised if you never made it home, would you? How many of you treat your body like that car? You don't have to put up your hand. I mean, if you want to be honest, that's cool. Beloved community, well-being is your birthright. Well-being should be foundational, not an afterthought. In addition to the 4 pillars of mindfulness that were shared with us the other day, be present, feel connected, get curious, stay motivated, I would also add rinse and repeat. If you did one push-up, you couldn't get upset that you didn't get strong. You have to do this over and over and over again, okay? Well-being should not be an afterthought. Our health and well-being is our birthright, so why do we treat it like a nuisance? Why? We need vigilance regarding our diet as vigilant as we are about having bad breath. The things that we put into our eyes and ears affect our mental health. We need to be judicious with how we use our senses. So some of you may be saying I'm preaching to the choir, but as we heard this morning, if you're preaching to the choir, we preach to the choir for you to sing louder. If our time is now, we need to be singing louder. So to bring this home, I'll make it plain with you. We cannot be at peace and love with one another if we're not at peace and love with ourselves, okay? And furthermore, I submit to you the following. It is impossible to have a fresh idea from an exhausted mind, okay? The wings of imagination cannot soar when burdened by the weight of burnout. But when we nourish ourselves, when we serve from that freedom from abundance, we inspire people with our radiance. We calm the mind toward tranquility. In that alignment, as the elder mentioned, we find the dharma in our karma, okay? So for my loved ones who still think that you don't have time for this, I'm going to end with a practice, and pardon my candor, but that means one of two things. You either ain't serious, let's be real, or you just don't know where to begin, okay? If you ain't serious, I can't help you with that. That's yours. But if you are serious, let's get to work. First of all, simple practice. Repeat after me. Rest is productive. Rest is productive. 2 more times. Rest is productive. Rest is productive. 3rd time's a charm. Rest is productive. Rest is productive. Find a tall spine, please. And do what you typically do in life, right? So how do you spend hours of the day? Does this look healthy? So first things first, get into the shoulders. Get into the breath. For those of you who want to be like Queen Bee, maybe it's one then the other. Then, put your palms together. Fingers together, circle your wrists. If your wrists are popping, that's synovial fluid being like, thank you for remembering that I go in 360 degrees. Take that the other way, and for those of you who saw me with my Kangol, maybe you pop lock. Notice how your fingers feel. Notice how your shoulders feel. This is liberation through finding alignment from getting over bad habits. Pause, chin to chest. Take right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder, and if you got it in you, make a full circle. Deepen the breath and notice how you feel here and now. Now pause. Come to center, find a seat, tall spine, shoulders back and down. Notice how that simple practice, how accessible it was. Notice the difference it has made in your body. Now, for the next 30 seconds, I want you to put in your heart and mind something that has inspired you this week. And from the balance that we just created in community, Let's marinate in our inspiration in community. So find a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose, and marinate in your dream, marinate in your imagination. This is not a rhetorical question. How do you feel right now? That is how close, that's how easy wellness is for us. After that Zoom call, do that. That was a 2.5 minute. That's how easy this is for us. Yet, why do we make it so hard? That's a rhetorical question. So, in conclusion, I know I'm over time, y'all. That choir, I blame it on the choir. I knew I was going to go to church today. As Brother Eddie reminds us, we must take bold steps in these challenging times so that others may be like, what was that? And I want more of that. Can you imagine when people first heard Jimi Hendrix and that riff on Purple Haze? People were like, okay, cool. When Prince said, let's go crazy, people were like, what is that? And some of y'all even said that about the yoga class that you went to the other day. Thank you for coming, by the way. The lotus rises from the mud. The phoenix rises from the ashes. And if we're in a time right now that is both muddy and stricken with ashes, what does that tell you? What's next? If we believe it, we will achieve it, okay? So in these auspicious times, the world needs our unfettered authenticity. It needs our rooted in love and consistent care of self, so we can smash outdated norms and bring the future that we deserve. Do you feel that? That answer sucked. Did you feel that? Yes. Thank you. So look, it's scary, but we have each other. We have history on our side and the fervent desire of the people across the planet for something new. People are just going back to the old stuff because new stuff hasn't been articulated. So for my social change makers, speak your voice, so that the people can know that possibility exists. If it's here, ain't that many people clairvoyant. Barry might be the different one because he's a Buddhist monk. But otherwise, we need you to speak your truth. And lastly, we didn't just go through the pandemic to go back to the same old shit, did you? Okay. It is our hope that this experience has given you inspiration to try something new and change your perspective. So for some of you, you may need help modeling that, so I'm going to do that for you. So to change your perspective, you have to have a little courage. Do something that you never thought that you would do. So why not try something new? This is the first headstand I've done in front of 1,000 people in Spain. Take a chance, y'all. Live your life, let your light shine. And with that, I bow before you. Blessings and peace.